Hello, everyone. We are here in Anaheim with David.
Hello, I'm coming to you live from a dungeon in the basement of the Hilton. We were upstairs earlier, but it was a little too loud, so we've moved downstairs into a hallway where we hope it's going to be a bit quieter, but we'll see what happens.
Let's see. Let's hope.
Let's hope.
We are as well live on our Discord. So discord.gg/Edge Impulse. You can as well connect to our live. So hello, everyone. Maybe we can open the chat here in case that we have questions. If you have questions on YouTube or LinkedIn, feel free to ask them away. We are here to talk about the Edge Impulse Hackathon. And let me share the URL of the hackathon in case you don't know it and where you can sign up. But basically, let me share my screen maybe.
Go ahead. I'm going to troubleshoot audio in Discord.
Okay, not audible. You are on mute. Wait a second. Yeah, we are. Check there in the microphone. No, here maybe. Wait a second. We are having some problems. So, Louis, could you please get on stage? Okay, no, you cannot hear us. Why not?
All right.
Still nothing.
Well, let's see. Oh, Discord.
I had the same problem a couple of times. Now, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, because it shows the
Let
whatever.
Let me rejoin.
Yeah, let's try to rejoin. We are having some technical issues on the Discord live AMA. So give us 30 seconds to fix that, and we are going to talk about the Edge Impulse Global Virtual Hackathon. Let's try to... I'm not sure if you just... No. Don't end the live stage. Join. Okay, why? So click here. Speak on stage now. What about now?
Anything?
Give us, put the camera maybe.
Oops. Where's the chat? Better?
Yes. Okay,
all
fantastic.
Right. So I exited and rejoined the stage. Wonderful.
Fantastic.
And I did not change any audio setting. Imagine that. Thanks, Discord. All good.
So we have about 20 people right now from LinkedIn and YouTube. So let's go to talk about the hackathon. What do you want to know?
Well, I want to know a lot of things, but first I want to know who you are. Introduce yourself, Mark.
Exactly. So I'm Mark, developer relations at Edge Impulse since 4 months ago, actually now.
It's been that long?
Yeah.
I guess so.
And now we are at Embedded World North America in Anaheim to just present what we are doing at Edge Impulse. And you?
Well, I'm David Tischler. I'm a developer relations engineer at Edge Impulse, and I think I've been here maybe 3.5 years now. I don't know. Louis in the audience. He could probably tell you. But it's been a couple of years now, and I was excited to have you join, I guess you say 4 months ago, to help us with this hackathon because I have not had the time to focus on it, so I really don't know a whole lot about it, quite honestly. And it just now occurred to me that the Discord folks did not hear that we are currently located in the dungeon below the Hilton Anaheim, coming from Embedded World North America. We were upstairs earlier, but it was much too loud. Yeah. So we found ourselves a little hallway in the downstairs area here, but it might get a little loud. So
fingers crossed.
Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, now we have some friends.
Yeah, Exhibit A. So yeah, we're at a show this week, but we wanted to take some time and step away to meet up with the community about this hackathon that I know nothing about. So please tell me.
Well, something else, just to give some context. Actually, we were remembering that we record like 100 podcasts together or webinars or episodes like this, but never together in the same place. Yeah. So that's interesting. Okay, so let's go and talk about the hackathon. So basically, we are organizing a global virtual hackathon during, from last week till the end of this month, November. we want that developers from all around the world build their Edge Impulse projects, and basically, submit them through. You can use the URL that we are having here on LinkedIn or YouTube. Maybe we can put it on the chat on Discord as well, the URL of the virtual hackathon. But what's the goal? So we challenge every developer to submit their innovation, creativity, try to solve a problem that they have at home or at work or wherever, with Edge AI and some machine learning on Edge devices. And basically, we have two themes. We have the Edge AI application track, which basically we want to see applications that can be deployed on embedded devices, running machine learning models made with Edge Impulse, or basically models that you have from other third-party services that you bring on Edge Impulse and train or just deploy and optimize that model for embedded hardware. We want to see here creativity and innovation and problem solving. And we have a second track that we can get more details in the next, in another call, which is a model development track. Basically, we want engineers or students or whoever to design machine learning models using Edge Impulse. That can be audio, vision, or sensor-based data. But we want that people focus on accuracy, on performance, but as well that they can be used in future Edge AI projects with Edge Impulse. And basically, these are the two topics. And we have some interesting prices. Basically, we have $30,000 on prices, $12,000 on the best overall project, $5,000 and $5,000 on the best Edge AI application and model, $5,000 as well as an impact award, AI for Good. And finally, if you're a student, you have the possibility as well to get an award of $3,000 if your project is interesting. But it's not only that. We also have a special mentions. We want to send a lot of swag packs. We want to send a lot of hardware.
I want a swag pack.
You want a swag pack?
Yeah.
I can ship you a swag pack.
All right.
But we want to see people helping each other on Discord. If you are not part of Edge Impulse Discord, go to discord.gg/Edge Impulse and help other people. We have a hackathon channel on Discord. So we want to see people engaging there. If you need a team, basically you can go there as well. And we want to see, it's a competition, but we want to see as well people cooperating for this. Actually, when I learn more in hackathons like this, it's when people was super helpful among each other. And that was really, really interesting. What else? We got on the part of the guidelines, and basically, if you want to submit a project, you need to, of course, register here on the Hacker Earth page, but and as well on Edge Impulse Studio. But we wanted to focus this session today here to understand what's a good project and how to set up kind of guardrails of how a project should be submitted. What do you need to submit a project? What's an interesting project for us to get? So can we get on that? Do you have examples of good projects?
I do have quite a few examples of good projects, actually, Mark, but I'm looking over on the Discord stream, and they're not able to see the screen share. And sure enough, my screen share is disabled. So I'm wondering if we're going to have to use your screen share over on the YouTube side.
Let's try to do that.
Yeah. So if you go to present on yours.
Let me try to do this. This is
I think I had. Well, unless you want to try to come into the Discord as well, you can definitely try that.
That's going to be tricky.
But if not, I guess we could have folks just, even I realize, of course, that there are, 12 in the audience over on Discord, but I'm wondering if they just have the YouTube stream.
But I think it's, exactly. You will be able to watch this. We are going to share the YouTube link. what we can do is basically copy and paste on the chat for Discord in the live state chat, the links that we are going to share on the video.
I'll put the links into the Discord chat right now, and then you can open them up as I talk through them. That would actually work as well.
So David, you have a lot of experience on projects. So when you read the project for the first time, how do you say, oh, wow, this is so what tells you, or that makes you make wow when you read the project?
So like I was saying earlier, I've been working with our community for a couple of years now. And so I've seen a lot of projects. There's quite a few Edge Impulse projects over on Hackster. And they're just community-driven submissions. And as I look at them and I glance at them, there's a lot of them, right? There's probably a few hundred at this point that make use of Edge Impulse. And I'm not talking about our ambassador program. I'm just simply talking about community submissions. And that's awesome to see. And I love that the community is building things and posting things. But again, across a variety of several hundred projects, some naturally are better than others. It's just the way it is when you have a sample size that large. And, I can pretty quickly tell that just from the first couple of minutes of glancing at a project and just a quick scroll through, I can usually tell if a project is well written, well documented, or if it's lacking in some areas. Some are just simply more thorough than others. And so when I look at a project and I literally just click a link and it opens up, what I'm looking for in a high quality project, which also then means what would be a high quality submission for the hackathon, I'm looking at basic flow from start to finish that thoroughly explains and documents the steps that were taken, tells a story about a problem and a solution, and is visual. Ones that have some animated GIFs, lots of high quality photography, screenshots every step of the way. And quite honestly, it does make for a long read, a long scroll, but it's a much easier project to then reproduce on my own. If I want to build or duplicate that exact work, I can basically go from the start to the finish and follow everything without having to ask questions, without having to navigate to other browser tabs, without having to ask questions like, well, where did this come from? Or how do I get to that next step? So those are the ones that truly stand out. Again, I'm thankful for the community and thankful that there are developers out there just simply building and posting on Hackster or other sites as well, Instructables and Hackaday and other places. But some of them, unfortunately, they're very thinly documented. It's just a basic, maybe a paragraph or two paragraphs with like a link to a GitHub, but the GitHub has no README, and so they're lacking. And
you went to the point actually. I get very nervous when I get into a project where it doesn't explain how to deploy it or how to install it, or there are missing parts.
In the Edge Impulse world, what that means is, of course, like I started to talk about there with some introduction and scope of problem and what is the solution, but then you get into the actual real build steps, and that then includes from as far as Edge Impulse is concerned, you've got your data set collection, what makes a high quality data set. That also is curation, data curation as well. How many samples, where was the data collected? Why was it collected where it was? Those kinds of things. What would be some things that would impact the accuracy based upon the data set that you collected, and then getting into the pipeline creation, and that's the impulse, right?
Yeah.
How was your impulse constructed? What blocks were chosen? Why were those blocks chosen? What about those blocks were impactful? And then same thing in the model training. There's a lot of parameters that are available in the Edge Impulse Studio. And again, why did you choose the settings that you chose? What was the, did you do some experimentation? Did perhaps your accuracy suffer if you did not do enough training cycles? What was your batch size? Why did you choose that batch size? So on and so forth. So you really want to explain why you built your model or how you constructed the model, and the reasons behind your settings.
Yeah.
And then from there, you go into some testing and then the deployment of the model. And again, now you have a lot of options over in the deployment phase. Well, why did you choose the deployment settings that you did?
Yeah.
Was it a C++ library? Was it particular to the type of hardware you're using? Why did you even select that hardware in the first place?
Yeah.
Why did it?
That's important. Why do you select?
Whatever it was that you chose. It could have been a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, so we have a question on Discord from Ishita saying, if we use Raspberry Pi 4 as hardware, can we use the highest limit of memory, like 8 gigabytes? Yeah, of course, because maybe you have a requirement on your project requesting, like, I need a lot of RAM for whatever
probably
reason.
Computer vision project with a large model size. Yeah, you may absolutely need.
You can use it and then explain why.
Yeah, correct. So, and then let me think, where were we? Okay, so now, you've got a model and you've deployed it. But what does it do in the real world now? So now the model has been built and downloaded, and it's on the device. Okay. What are those next steps? Are you interacting with the real world? What is your inference doing? Are you somehow listening? Are you sending alerts to a dashboard? Are you manipulating a robotic arm? Like, what is that next piece of the puzzle? You have a model, but what is it doing and how is it operating in the real world? And that needs to be documented as well. That's now finally come to the end of the entire process, and we've walked through a pretty lengthy, if you can write succinctly and concisely, that's great. But the point is it's fully documented.
We have some questions on YouTube.
Okay, what do we have?
So we have a Java developer with 4 years of experience, ABC company, and he wants to switch another company. Which language he needs to prepare because he's for the AI boom? What do you recommend?
I guess that's.
So what language would you recommend for people that wants to submit a project on the hackathon?
I don't know that I have a strong preference. There's lots of good frameworks out there, if this is somebody who wants to get into the NVIDIA ecosystem, okay, well, then there's, the CUDA stuff and all of that. Over in the PyTorch world,
I've Python, right?
Yeah, it's Python. So that's Python, of course. Different model frameworks. You have the TensorFlow Lite stuff. There's all kinds. It's a really open-ended one. Now, if you're also thinking about, I see the keyword here of the AI boom. Is that LLM and RAG and fine tuning and that's cloud.
Java on an embedded device is not
It's you almost need to focus a bit more and then narrow down from there.
So let's show some projects that inspire you.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to start?
So you'll have to do it over on so you'll have to share from YouTube, but I'll drop the links in. Let's start with I see in your tabs, can you share that pick and place system?
Okay.
Yeah. This is a good one. And let's see if it shows up. Add to stage. Yeah. So for those of you on YouTube, you'll see it. I'm going to grab that link and drop it into the Discord chat quickly. If you want to just
I'm going to put it on YouTube as well.
Yeah. Let me grab the link.
Thank you, Louis, for replying the question on YouTube as well.
Louis is everywhere. He's in Discord also. All right, so this is the first one that we'll go through. And like I said, if you're on YouTube, you can see it.
Yeah, so, let's go to the question from Montoran
you have a question
Discord.
Discord.
He says, thank you for that explanation about documentation. If my documentation is too lengthy, it will be boring. So,
but that doubt has been cleared. No, you're absolutely correct. Let me see if I pronounce this Venturon correctly. It's really not a matter of being boring. It's a matter of being thorough.
Yeah, explaining step by step
and explaining and the why. Exactly. The reasoning behind your choices that you make, sort of like we discussed. And I don't know, I mean, I guess I'm maybe a nerd, but I find that kind of stuff interesting. So I'm happy to read that stuff. And I mean, if you're writing and you can certainly use some things like Grammarly if you need a little help, like phrasing and wording. But I think that it's better to have a more thorough document than a thin document. So
okay, so let's get into the first project, this pick and place system with Arduino Braccio.
Yeah, and so this is a nice project that's thoroughly documented exactly as we've been discussing. And I like how it opens up with an animated GIF of kind of, really the overall theme of the tutorial.
And then as well, something that liked me a lot. It's like the first thing to show, it's a public project link from Edge Impulse Studio.
Yes.
On the GitHub repo.
Yeah. So in these projects here that are in our documentation repository, these are from our expert network, which is our ambassador group. And we can probably do a whole nother session live stream on just that sometime. But so these will always have a public project link and a GitHub repository. Well, if it's something that has code that goes along with it. Some projects do not have a GitHub repository, but that's okay. We don't always see this over on Hackster for just some random community submission, but these here will always have a public project link and a GitHub repo. But, it kind of follows the template that we've been talking about this entire time. Over on the right-hand side, you can see the navigation. It's an introduction, a hardware selection, how to set up the development environment. And then this was a robotics project, so he goes into the installing ROS2 Humble and move it as the simulation. And then he's going through even more with depth AI and micro ROS because it's a two-stage pipeline here that he's using. And then we get to really truly where the Edge Impulse bits begin, and that is the data collection. But I'm watching you scroll over on the no, that's okay. You're all right. And I'm watching you scroll over on the YouTube stream, Mark, and you can see he's got all of the code blocks, the screenshots. I even see a screenshot for the Raspberry Pi imaging utility and what to select, localization options. Keep scrolling a little bit, Mark. Adding the repositories. All of this is a logical sequence with every step of the way. Yeah,
because if you miss one of these libraries, if you miss the Python 3 Flake 8 comprehensions, it's not going to work.
Exactly. You'll begin to get errors, and then you're going to find yourself troubleshooting errors, or why isn't this working? Or 5 steps later, you go to try something and it fails with an error because you missed a step along the way, so then he gets into some more utilities, and then we see some screenshots, some pictures of his hardware. I see he's got a Raspberry Pi 5,
yeah.
with the Braccio carrier board there. And then he gets to the Edge Impulse bits, and he starts off kind of, as I said, with data collection.
Yeah, he captured 101 images.
101 images of the pigs and penguins using the OAK-D camera. And those pigs and penguins are actually pretty funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, he's got images here of the data set. And then look, we got another animated GIF of how he's doing the labeling required, drawing his bounding boxes. I mean, that is excellent for another developer to come along
that
and
never
replicate.
did these and clearly understand how to label objects.
How to do labeling. I'm going to scroll down a bit more, and I see model training. So he's going through his pipeline now. He gets to keep scrolling over on yours. He's showing off feature generation, so we can see right away there's some nice separation in his data.
Yeah, the cluster is really it's really good.
Yeah. And he's got a screenshot of his training settings. What is he using here? Probably must be a YOLA. Yeah, YOLA V5 Nano.
It's a community blog.
Yeah.
We're going to explain how to change.
Yeah. Let's see here. There were he goes into some documents or some steps here. There's 4 variations of the model size available. We selected the nano version. Yeah, so he's telling at least what he chose. I suppose he probably could have said what happens if he selected a larger one, but
or CPU. Why do you use GPU instead of CPU?
Now he keeps scrolling. I see he got 99% precision.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. It's pretty good,
impressive.
But that's okay. And then he goes into some testing and deployment. Now deployment, I see he's got another animated GIF of showing the results. He is showing off, is demonstrating that it's functional. I see a lot of projects just stop at we built the model, and that's the end. Well, it's good, but it's really not the end. What are you doing with your model? And now that's where he continues on, and he goes even further into, because he's using some Python here in order to now manipulate the robot arm. If you keep scrolling, you'll see he's got all his code blocks in here, and then the inferencing running on.
That's interesting. That he shows the image of the camera.
And that's running now on the OAK-D camera. And then what is his next bit here? Build a visual robot model. So now he's got an STL for what is this? The grabber? Let me think here. For geometry and organizing robots. Let's see. So scroll down a little. Oh, this is for the simulation. Okay, so he can run simulation and move it. Keep scrolling a bit there. Yeah, so this is for you can certainly test on a real robotic arm if you have the Braccio. However, he's also showing how to simulate it so you can just test virtually, which is also great and also good for if you get to a point where you want to use some synthetic data and augment your data set with additional assets. So yeah, he's going. Again, this comes to the point of why this is really truly an exemplary project. He's got the controller firmware,
and then we get into the Arduino Braccio.
Yeah,
how to install it on the Arduino IDE, right?
Yeah. Launch the nodes, and then I think you should be near the end. Keep going, launching, and then okay. So
Video
now
and a conclusion. That's fantastic.
right. So now he has a YouTube video showing it in action. I really like this as well because this is proof or evidence, and we can see the outcome. We went through all of these steps, and now let's see it actually work. And of course, the final bit right below that is a conclusion, and just ties everything back and reiterates what we did, what we accomplished, and how we accomplished it. And so this really is an exemplary project. Obviously, you as a hackathon participant may do something completely different, not at all related to this. It could be a sensor, a time series project. You could have different hardware. Well, you most likely will have different hardware.
Of course.
You'll have a completely different scope of what your project is. But the way in which you submit really could just follow this as a framework.
Good point.
That's what makes for a high quality submission, which was the question at hand today.
Yeah. Let's show a second project.
You want to show one more? Let's see. I wasn't looking at, were there any questions that came in? I was kind of walking through that.
No, we didn't have any questions.
We didn't have any questions? I think there might have been some over in Discord, but it looks like Louis is on top of it.
I don't know.
Thank
it
you,
says
Louis.
that LinkedIn comments won't show here,
but over in Discord, I see there were some questions, and Louis has been handling them. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Louis.
If you want to show one more, let's go back to that other browser. And how about
which one do you want to show?
Let's do condition monitoring. I like this one as well. This one is a little briefer.
Let's share
or you
the
want
URL.
to do? Well, let me think. Go back. Let me see. Do that one.
The
You know
URL
what?
anyway.
I want to see what other tabs I sent you. Recognize voice commands. This is a good one too. Developing a voice activated. We'll go back to condition monitoring. I think that one's time. That's time series. Let's take a look at that one.
Yeah.
So let me grab the link just for Discord as well to drop in so that folks can scroll through that as I walk through it. Now, this one is not as lengthy as the one we just looked at. So here's an example. We had that question earlier of, is it too long? Well, yeah, maybe it is. Well, no, I don't want to say that. Maybe it is long, but because it's thorough, it helps me get from point A to point B without any questions or without having to go and research anything on my own. I can just replicate the work and understand. And that's what I want to see in a project submission. Okay, switching gears to this one. This is a time series project, and this one, quite honestly, is not as lengthy as that last one. Go ahead and begin scrolling over there, Mark. And we do have an introduction, and we also have, like you called out previously, that public project link. Yeah. Again, this was one that was done by our ambassadors, by the expert network. So there's a public project link, which will take you directly to their data set and how they collected their samples.
Actually, any project submitted on the hackathon, they will need to do the same, actually. Publish.
They will require a public, okay, perfect.
So we will have...
and we can show how to do that in another live stream next week or whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, how to create a public project, how to make sure that your data set and your model are available for others to have a look at. It's similar to like a GitHub kind of style of sharing. So I like right off the bat what he's done here in this one, which is an architecture diagram. That's also helpful to understand what's going to be going on. In the last project we looked at, we saw it began with an animated GIF which is also good, but this will work too.
Yeah.
This gives us the overview of what are we going to accomplish here. And he's calling out right away that if you go back to the text on it, Mark, yeah, that's okay. He's calling out a couple of quick bullet points on, cloud services. You need connectivity, so it's sometimes better if you need. Here's some warning sirens going on over here. Hope the Hilton's okay. But he's calling out, why you might want to run an edge AI model.
Yeah, that's
microcontrollers are cheap, and you can run without the connectivity, but yet your model can still perform inference without any interruptions in Wi-Fi or cellular or whatever. And so, he begins here by proposing a solution. Okay. And he's got another diagram of how he's going to alter it. Now, in this particular case, I see he's got his hardware bill of materials. And maybe we could have linked here, but those are quick Google searches. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. He's got it bullet pointed. I like that though. And he's got a picture of how he set up his prototype. This is condition monitoring, so he's got a motor. This is going to essentially look for anomalies in the data. This will be time series, like I was saying, but that motor, and he 3D printed some parts. Looks like a fan blade on here, and these pictures are great. I love it. He's got all angles represented.
So you know how to connect the pins.
Yeah, how he connected, what he wired, and he'll get into that anyways. Oh my goodness. But I mean, this is a nice build he's got. It's a high quality representation. Now, stop here for a minute, and we can see what he's going to start testing. In a motor, he should have a very consistent. I think he's going to be doing AC or voltage or other, even it could be vibration. We'll find out in a moment as we scroll down further. It was probably in those bullet points above.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Keep going. And let's see. Conditional monitor. Yeah, it's in there. I don't want to. Just keep scrolling. Let's keep moving along. Keep going. Where were we? Here we go. So he's going to introduce some what would be called, I guess we would say, anomalies by those fan blades that are, quite honestly, not good.
We have some very good questions on Discord. Just wait a couple of minutes and we will reply them here.
Okay,
live.
Yeah, I'll come back to that one in a moment. I'm over on YouTube on the document. So yeah, we're still, good. So keep going down, Mark, go ahead and scroll. And now he's going to begin the process here of where the Edge Impulse bits. So he went through all of his introduction and what is the problem statement and how is he going to simulate, a big machinery. Goes through connecting the device, and he's got a couple of statuses here. He's going to go into labeling, collecting his data set. He's got a couple minutes here. He's going to perform a train and test split, model preparation. Again, like I was saying previously, what is he select? Oh, in fact, what's he got? The gyroscope and the accelerometer. So it's a motion project. Okay, wonderful. So he's going to look for imbalances. With the fan blades. Imbalances, which is that's awesome. So now he's got spectral features there. He's running a classifier across the X, Y, and Z axis. So he's got so he's got outliers. So he's got no motion, normal motion, and errors. I guess we'll have to see, because the clustering there of normal and errors are actually pretty close. We'll see what happens here, but keep going. So after the model is in fact, able to segment out. So even though the data looked fairly similar, the model did in fact segment out the error conditions. So the model was once it was trained, was able to determine from those XYZ inputs whether the blades were intact or missing. Go ahead and scroll down. He's going into testing. Now he's going to go to deployment, and he's on a Sentient Tiny ML board. It's a nice little device. It's MCU based. And he's got the that video plays when you click deployment, but he's still, we're working through. Point being is we're still moving from point A to point B here. Keep scrolling. And he comes to the conclusion here.
References.
Yeah, I would have maybe liked to have seen a video of it running, but all things considered, like I say, this one's a bit shorter than that last one with the Braccio arm, but it's still it's thorough. It's well documented. Yeah, video would have been nice, but we did. We got through A to B. Let's have a look over at these questions, although I see that Louis might have been answering along the way. Yeah. So where were we?
Wait.
Down a bit? Okay. Yeah. How many images of one label should be sufficient? As in, I'm going to be detecting the object on a common surface. The camera position will be fixed. Environment is static. How many images? Well, Louis, did you grab that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, data set best practices. Honestly, if you have a very, very controlled environment, and there will not be any variations in background or lighting or camera angle or anything, maybe 100 images is fine. In real world conditions, when I try to train a model on my desk, but then deploy that model somewhere else, like a factory, and that factory has different lights, different position and distance from camera to object, different camera altogether, not even the same brand, not even the same type of camera, different resolution, people walking in front of it, noise, just, all kinds of things, right? My data set is going to need much more training data. Generalized models are what we're talking about in those circumstances. And, even like VLMs or synthetic data can help with augmentation for that. But if you have a really, truly narrow scope, and this project is never going to leave your desk, I don't know, 50, 100, 200, 1,000. Yeah. It's pretty quick to take pictures, quite honestly. When you're in the studio, it's click, 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 click. I mean, you can rack up 1,000 data samples.
But then you get into the problem that Peter Rocks mentioned here, right?
Training time, 36 hours and 54 seconds is larger than compute time limit of 1 hour. What does this mean? How to avoid it? All right, let's see if Louis grabbed this one. So, there's a limited. We provide a 60-minute per job limit. If you encounter, you could go with bring your own model, where you can train it elsewhere and bring it into Edge Impulse. Yeah, and then I see Venturon. Yeah, clicking images is super fast. Got it. Thanks. Back on that training. Okay, now that one is interesting. A 36-hour run. It's a pretty significant model size. So I'm wondering about that data set. How many thousands of images, if assuming computer vision, that could be 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 images. Okay. Also, the resolution input. Yeah. Do you need, in the pipeline construction, 1920 by 1080 resolution to build the model? Probably not. I'd be curious to know.
Because maybe your block resize it to 96 by 96, right?
Yeah.
Or 320 by
320 by 320. Try resizing it 320 by 320 as an input, well, assuming square, 320 by 240 or whatever your perspective is. But and see what your estimated runtime, train time is in that scenario. And you could also try FOMO versus MobileNet V2. Really what I would want to see there is experimentation surrounding the accuracy. Well, I guess you have to get it down under an hour first, but there's some tuning there.
That's a good thing to document, right?
Yes.
I test these, I test that. I couldn't.
Exactly. I was not able to train at 1920 by 1080 resolution, but quite honestly, didn't need to train at 1920 by 1080 resolution in the end, because I still got a 97% accuracy after reducing the size. And I mean, that's part of the whole process of learning and experimenting. So yeah, and I recognize the name PP Rocks. I know you're active in Discord, so we can.
If this is a limitation, the computation time, just let us know and we can help you. Yeah. There is a question here on YouTube.
Let's switch over to that one.
Yeah, says, can Edge Impulse platform be hosted locally? I think Louis already replied to you, Maxime. Yes. We are working on this product, but as Louis mentioned, it's the best is to discuss with the sales team. We understand that there are some use cases where it's important that the training or the images or all the data that you use for training the machine learning model doesn't leave your system, or it's not hosted on third-party servers. So we are working on this product, and it's not here yet. So I would recommend that if you want to work in the hackathon with this data, try to find some data that you can host on the Edge Impulse servers. But and in the meantime, if you want to do that for your on the professional side, let's talk with the sales people. We are happy to introduce you to them as well.
I see Maker Brains over on there. Why do I recognize that name?
Maker Brains.
Where am I? Hey,
Maria from Chile. How are you? So we have another question. Can I enter? Yeah, that's a very good one, actually, for Maker Brains. Can I enter my project in the hackathon that is already published somewhere in Hackster?
Gosh.
No, we want new projects, but we are sure that with your creativity and innovation, you will be able to get that flow and apply that creativity for a new project. I'm sure that it's going to happen.
Yeah, I recognized it was Mukesh as soon as I said that. I was like, that's right.
So
I need another coffee.
You need another coffee?
Yeah.
Maybe you still have. So we have more questions here.
Okay, let's go back over this way. What do we have on Discord? Okay, let's see. What do you mean by supplement your data set? If I am going to an already available data set to train a model. Okay, let me think about that one, Sage Boy, in the context of what we were discussing. Supplement your data set. So if I'll use this as an example. It's sort of what we were discussing a few minutes back, where I am a developer and I'm going to build a model. I'll call that from scratch. I'm going to collect, let's say, 500 images of an object, and that object is on my desk, and it's connected to my, I'm either using my phone to collect the images, or I'm have the device connected over the CLI, and I'm using it to collect images of whatever my object is for object detection. Okay, fine. Now I've collected 500 images in a controlled environment here on my desk, and they're all pretty similar-ish. And I train my model, and my model is now very good at identifying the object in these exact conditions. My lighting, my camera angle, and so forth. That's great. But if I now go and try to detect that same object somewhere else? What if I even just move to a different room
Here
in the
in this
house?
dungeon.
Yeah, look at this in this dungeon that we're in today. Next time, by the way, Mark, we are not joining from the dungeon next time. We're going to find a better location. This was his fault. But we're going to... So now we have this model, and it's wonderful at identifying my object of interest in my office. But all I do is move to a different room in the house, and I try to run the same model, and it cannot identify my object because this new room is much brighter or much darker or plain different background, or all of these factors matter.
Yeah, you know what happened at Maker Faire Rome with the slot car?
The slot cars, yeah.
So, for example, in the Make Faire Rome, what happened is there were windows, and during the sunset, the shadows that we were getting on the slot car, and the camera was getting those shadows was making crazy the machine learning model. And it's a machine learning model that it's perfect for the slot car demo. Yep. But it was not trained under the conditions of shadows.
Shadows, exactly. Forgot about that. Yeah, that's a perfect example. So anyway, then what I was saying about supplementing the data set. Okay, well, we had 500 images that were taken, and it built a wonderful model for my desk, but it does not account for external factors like shadows. Okay, so now what you want to do is go to where the model is ultimately going to be deployed. And I realize that might be costly. You might be getting on an airplane. You may be trying to simulate a different environment.
Try to go to a garden, a public park in your city.
Yeah. And you want to get 500 more pictures. And that will then allow you to supplement your existing data set, augment that data set with a wider variety for the model to train on the model. And now you have, 500 images of this environment and 500 images of some other environment to help you balance it out. And ideally, go get 500 more images from yet a third location in order to help build a generalized model, not one that is very highly fine-tuned to just those one set of conditions.
I want to connect two questions, and we have one on Discord and one on YouTube. So actually on Discord we have, are there any specific domains where you think embedded Edge ML is underexplored? And then Maria on YouTube is asking, I want to work with Edge Impulse with physic-touch interfaces.
Touch interfaces, human-machine interfaces, HMI.
Well, and I asked why,
physical AI.
And she said to make music.
Oh.
So I'm trying to connect both questions because I haven't seen any Edge AI project to make music. Actually, 10, 15 years ago, I built a project that was getting music and convert them into beats, or getting the beats of the music and converting them into vibration. But that's a fantastic idea. So I'm sure there are many underexplored use cases. I'm not sure if you have ideas of underexplored.
Not off the top of my head. I have seen an example. I hear a vacuum or a drill or something. So we might be ending this soon. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, they are refurbishing everything.
I think it's time to. I think the embedded world is set to begin. I have seen one, Maria. If you're in Discord, or hop into our Discord channel, I'll need to find it. I've seen an interesting one, but it's going to take me some digging. So then I'll ping it in there for you. I got to do some searching.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, I think it's a great idea to let's see what. Super excited now about your project, Maria. So looking forward to see it.
Yeah.
To see it. Yeah, I left here the URL of Discord in case anyone here on YouTube or LinkedIn, it's not part of our Discord community. Do we have So Louis, what did
Additional
he's writing to us?
Yeah.
Interesting part of for this developer contest is the explanation of why you decide to supplement the data set.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. Explain it. Yep.
Yeah, everything that you do, explain why you do that, and why it's important what you are doing. It's just to solve a problem that you have. It's to do something that you want. Why you do things. What else? More questions?
I don't know. I think we might be running out of our time here downstairs. I'm trying to find it for you, Maria. I'm trying.
No worries. Yeah, we will share it on LinkedIn, Maria.
Wait, this might be it.
So it's clear. We explain on this session today what it's, the hackathon contest. So we are running this virtual hackathon till the end of the month. So you still have 27 days to submit your project, but don't do it last minute. And we explain today the guardrails, or what it's a good project, what defines a good project. Explain the problem that you solve, explain the whys, why you do specific things, what materials did you use, what hardware, why you use that hardware or another one, what parts do you do, take pictures of all the process, document everything, explain the data, why you take some data or another one, explain how you build your neural network, the deployment process, how you deploy your machine learning model on the embedded device, and show the results of this model running. In the other hand, let's send it to me on Slack. So I'm going to share it on the YouTube as well. Thank you. And finally, for you, Maria, let's put here one example that David found for you.
This is actually not using Edge Impulse. I'm just simply saying I knew that I had seen a music physical interface. In fact, I'm not entirely sure how to do this in Edge Impulse. I guess it would be the gesture recognition component is what this would do. And you would need to glue it with probably a little bit of Python to bring in, so I think that model, it's actually in Hugging Face. But anyways, that post there is a representation of a good human to music HMI physical interface. Like I say, it's not using Edge Impulse, but it'll give you the idea of how to go about it.
And we focus a lot on maybe on Edge AI application, right? But if you are doing the model, it's more or less the same, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That could have been, I keep visibility across the entire Edge AI ecosystem, right? And so I recall I had seen that project, even though, like I say, it wasn't EI, but it just as easily could be. So there you go. I knew I had seen it somewhere.
What else? Luis writing, he's typing. I don't know. Any other question?
He didn't see that. Well, there you go, Louis. Have at it. Build it. What's on my desk? Nothing on the desk. I'm in the dungeon of a water bottle and a coffee cup is on the desk today.
Some rainwater.
Yeah.
From California.
Yeah, that's all that we've got on the desk today. But had we done this tomorrow, there would be some very interesting things.
I have some hardware here.
Do you really?
Yeah, of course. Let me show you the hardware that I wrote.
I don't have my backpack. You have on your desk.
Let me show you.
You only have 2 minutes left. You better make it quick.
Yeah, it's here. So tomorrow, basically, if you are in Embedded World North America, David and me, we are running a workshop.
We are?
Yeah, we do. We are. I don't know what is this. So we are going to run a workshop with ESP32 S3 Sense. So that's the tiny Seed Studio Xiao, ESP32 device with a camera, Wi-Fi, and microphone and Bluetooth. So we are going to show how to train a machine learning model for computer vision, and how to deploy the model on this tiny device.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it. I'm looking forward to learning. I don't know how to use an MCU. You're going to have to train me.
Wait a second, let me show them.
He does have it.
Yes. So this is a tiny device, actually.
That's a device?
Yeah.
That's the size of a coin.
So should we get
You're going to
this?
run, Joe, you leave that on there. Don't you peel that.
Okay, so let me get the other one without it. I get
So you're gonna run
one for David, one for me.
You're going to run AI on that?
Yeah.
No, you're not. Show them on Discord. It's no.
So this is the camera, as you see. There is as well a microphone, Bluetooth. This is a $14 device from Seed Studio. So we are going to show tomorrow live to the Orange County Maker community.
Maker Faire Orange County, as well as the IoT Meetup Orange County.
And
community.
then all the people who is on Embedded World,
North
America,
and if you're at
wants to
Embedded
show
World,
us. We had 40 of these. Or,
well, we're down to 38, but
38.
Yeah, 38.
And we are going to do a hands-on workshop. And
Yep.
Actually, on my GitHub repository, I have all the instructions on step by step. So this is a very convenient device to.
It's great for learning and getting started.
Yeah,
before
absolutely.
moving to
Xiao the legend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what it's on our desk, actually.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for us from the dungeon today.
So yeah, see you next week. We are going to do another session next week to ask any questions that you have for the hackathon, to show you more information, introduce maybe other community members who have large experience deploying machine learning models with Edge Impulse. And see you next week.
All right. Bye, everybody.